So there are different types of marketplace. There is a controlled marketplace. There is a, truly a marketplace where you're just like a connector, etc. Fundamentally, a marketplace should not require a working capital. Why? Because you are just connecting a buyer and a seller. You're not part of the transaction. But in general, some working capital is needed for the inventories which you are keeping or credit which you're extending to your suppliers on the platform. Otherwise, one interesting use case still trying to explore is basically financing your customers or your suppliers. So let us say I'm a marketplace operating into B2B industrial logistics space. You are connecting truckers across the country to be able to go from point A to point B, and people can just go on book their truck. Now some of these smaller companies often they require credit. So to be able to build some embedded financing solutions for some of your channel partners is a very interesting use case. It's something which is currently untapped. We at Recur actually is trying to do some of these partnership with many of these marketplaces, but enabling credit for your customers or your suppliers on either side will actually allow you to grow much more faster. So one thing I would say, this is something underused category for marketplace we should definitely explore. But in general, working capital perspective, it is either financing with inventory suppliers or maybe some channel financing. But there is a lot of use cases for growth capital, because many of these marketplaces are expanding massively, putting money into marketing, hiring a lot of people, expanding their sales fleet. And if they've already demonstrated in say 2, 3 or 4 cities that this model works and it's just a copy paste, raising equity and using that money to fund this expansion may not be the right use case. Ideally, you should use, let's say, 50-60% equity and 30-40% debt. So mix match, right? You change your capital structure because you know the repeatability, you know you can actually grow that business, you know when the break even happens. So leveraging debt into growth capital use cases is also very interesting, and I would say very relevant use cases for many of the marketplaces.